Are you a quieter, more introverted coach who feels called to lead, and then you keep talking yourself out of it before you even get your business off the ground? I understand that deep, bone-level pull toward meaningful work, coaching, teaching, writing, and guiding others. But the moment you imagine stepping into that role, it's like this voice in your head whispers, "Who told you you could do that?" In this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons you might be resisting or scared to step into the leadership role your soul signed you up for. And I'm going to tell you why your quiet nature isn't a problem to fix. It's actually your greatest advantage. Here's the thing, you don't have to be the loudest person in the room to lead. You can lead quietly in a way that feels natural, that feels sustainable, and it can be very powerful, especially when it comes to attracting clients and growing your business. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal what these 5 reasons actually say about you. So let's get started. Reason number 1, maybe you don't feel like a leader. You probably have this picture in your mind of what a leader is supposed to look like. Maybe they're supposed to be outgoing, they're naturally charismatic, and they always have the perfect right answer. And then there's that shadow side of leadership. We see leaders and we think, oh, they're so arrogant, they're so controlling, and they're so motivated by self-interest. So it's no wonder that so many quiet coaches like us, we think, well, that's just not me. But here's the shift I invite you to make. Leadership isn't about being loud or forceful. In fact, I once heard a quote that completely reframed the meaning of leadership for me. This is what it said: leadership is not a sum-zero equation. Now, I had to look it up. I wasn't quite sure what that meant. A sum-zero equation is just a fancy way of saying that in order for someone to win, someone else has to lose. So for someone to gain $5, someone else has to give up $5. But leadership doesn't work that way. Leadership is not a sum-zero equation. When one person harnesses their powers to lead, it strengthens the leadership opportunities of others rather than diminishing them. And that's because the ultimate definition of leadership is empowering others to become effective leaders as well. Now, I have a problem with the word empowering there, but basically it's letting people know it's okay to be a leader if that's what you feel called to do. And in just a minute, I'll tell you who said that, but let that quote sink in for a minute. Leadership doesn't have to be a win-lose competition. It can follow the win-win framework that Stephen Covey describes in the 7 Habits of Effective People. When you started your coaching business, you signed up for a leadership role, whether you felt ready or not. And a key part of business leadership, that's marketing and sales. So when it comes to marketing and sales and business, I totally get why you may not feel like a leader. You probably haven't been trained in those specific skills, and you might even have resisted them. I know that I did for more than 20 years. I was trying to build a business on hope marketing, hoping that people would find me, hoping clients would want to work with me. And that's why I ended up a clientless coach. But when I finally decided to be a leader in my business, that's when everything changed. So whether you're sharing a post, recording a video, or guiding a client, you're not taking anything away from anyone else. What you're doing is creating space. You're showing others what's possible. You're helping them feel safe enough to rise to their greatest potential too. And that's the kind of leadership the coaching world needs more of. Not louder voices, but steadier ones. Not experts at the top, but guides who are willing to walk beside others. And if you feel called to be a coach, to be a teacher, to be a writer, you're already leading, whether you've claimed that title or not. Reason number 2, you have a fear of public speaking or being in the spotlight. So, who was it that said that quote that I shared in reason number 1? It was none other than Tony Robbins. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Of course he believes in empowering others to lead. He's built an entire empire out of doing just that. But Tony Robbins is also a perfect example of why so many of us quiet coaches, we resist stepping into a visible leadership role. When we picture some of the leaders in the coaching industry, we think of people like him. They have the big voice, they have a big stage presence, they have that big energy. Tony Robbins is charismatic, he's bold, and he's absolutely commanding on camera. So what do you do if public speaking isn't your thing? What if being in the spotlight, it just makes your nervous system go all wonky? It's so easy to think, well, I could never do what he does, so maybe I'm not cut out for this. But don't forget, not everyone likes Tony Robbins' style. Energetically, he just overwhelms my senses. But I have a friend who loves him. She attends his live workshops and she thrives off his high energy delivery. And when she tells me about what she's learned or experienced, I think, oh, I have to give Tony Robbins another try. There must be something wrong with me. He sounds so great. And then I'll put on one of his videos and I can't last more than 3 minutes. So I believe the world needs more people who teach, coach, and lead in a way that doesn't set people's nervous systems on fire. So that means you don't have to start by getting on camera, although it is one of the best and fastest ways to connect with your audience, to build that know, like, and trust factor. But there are introvert-friendly ways to show up online and serve through content too. You can share a written post. You can record a short faceless video. You can create a carousel of beautiful pictures and thoughts for Instagram. Because what matters isn't your performance abilities, it's your presence. It's showing up consistently in a way that actually feels like you. And that's why I created a free mini guide called Master the Marketing Side of Success. And I created it specifically for quieter people, coaches and course creators who want to feel more comfortable and confident being seen without having to pretend that you're someone that you're not. And inside this mini guide, I walk you through 6 essential practices that will help you start to communicate clearly with your ideal client, to build genuine trust with your audience, and learn how to market your coaching services without feeling pushy or overwhelmed. I put a link in the description if you're interested, or you can just type success in the comments and I'll get that link to you. The big thing to remember is that your message is ready to be heard. And marketing, that's simply the vehicle that helps you share it. Reason number 3, people won't follow you because you're too sensitive. Let's talk about one of the deepest fears that many quiet coaches carry. The belief that they're too sensitive to lead others. You've probably heard it your entire life. You take things too personally. You need to have a thicker skin. You can't let people walk all over you. And maybe you've started to believe that your emotions, your softness, disqualify you from any type of leadership role. Because like so many people, you don't like conflict. You're not comfortable telling people what to do. And yes, you may tear up when someone shares a hardship that they're going through, or maybe even when you make a mistake. So let me ask you, do you ever worry that because you're so sensitive, that if you were to step into a leadership role, people wouldn't respect you? That they'd see your sensitivity as a weakness? That they'll ignore what you're saying? They'll talk over you or assume that you're not strong enough to lead? So what do? Do you stay quiet? Do you stay silent in the background? Do you let those stronger, more forceful personalities take the lead, even when you know that you have something valuable to contribute? Here's what I've come to realize. Your sensitivity, it's not the problem. It's the very thing that makes people feel safe with you. They feel seen, they feel understood. And it's what makes you an empathetic communicator, a compassionate guide, a trustworthy coach. The reason people follow you won't be because you're the loudest in the room. It'll be because you listened when no one else did. Because you spoke with honesty, not ego. Because you created a space where they could feel safe, even when they were feeling vulnerable. So yes, your voice might shake, your eyes might tear up, and it might take you a little bit longer to respond because you're thinking things through. That doesn't make you less of a leader. It makes you exactly the type of leader that so many people are searching for. Reason number 4, you don't want to do things the traditional way, the way they've always been done. Now, I'm guessing here, but I bet you don't like following the same old, outdated playbook. You want to build something real, something that works. And more importantly, you want to build something that aligns with your values. Like with marketing, you see the gaps in traditional marketing. And because of that, most of the traditional marketing advice out there, it just doesn't feel right for you. It feels superficial, it feels forced, and it feels too focused on building a 6-figure income instead of transformation-focused service. And while everyone is telling you to post 3 reels a day, send more DMs, or create high-pressure countdown timers, you're over here wondering, is there a way to market my business that doesn't make me feel frantic, fake, or out of alignment? You don't want to follow someone else's fill-in-the-blank script. You want to build real connections. You want to share content that feels meaningful, not manipulative. And maybe you've even wondered, if I refuse to do marketing the traditional way, can I still succeed? The answer is yes. Because your resistance to those outdated marketing tactics, it's actually your intuition speaking up. It's telling you that your business doesn't need to look or sound like everyone else's. It needs to represent you. It's reminding you that your clients don't want to feel pressured. They want to feel seen. And when you honor that instinct, you start to create content that's not just aligned with who you are, it's also aligned with your ideal clients. And here's something else to consider. Buyer psychology is changing, but it won't change fully until more people like you are willing to market your services differently. Your resistance to marketing as usual isn't a flaw. It's your inner compass guiding you toward a better way. And when you follow that compass, when you share your ideas, test new approaches, and model aligned leadership, you're also giving other people permission to do the same thing. Remember that Tony Robbins quote from reason number 1, that leadership is about helping others become leaders? That's what real leadership looks like. And you can help change how marketing is done by having the courage to start changing how it's done. That's one of the things I've enjoyed most with my Legacy Builders experience. It's given me the space to try different marketing methods, different approaches, to feel my way toward what works best for me. So if you're ready to stop worrying about having the perfect answer today and start exploring marketing options without overthinking or overstressing over every little detail, Legacy Builders might be a good playground for you too. It might be a playground you didn't even know you were looking for. Reason number 5, your quiet traits are actually an advantage. So let's wrap this whole thing up with a reframe that might change everything for you. Those very traits that you keep trying to tone down or hide, they're not what hold you back from leadership roles. They're what qualify you for them. Your calm presence, your reflective nature, your deep thinking, your sensitivity, your love of meaningful one-on-one conversations. Those aren't weaknesses. Those are strengths that the world desperately needs, especially in the coaching field. You've likely spent years thinking that you need to get more confident before you can lead, that you need to be more outspoken, that you need to overcome your fear of being seen before you can start marketing your services. But what if none of that is true? What if your quiet presence is the very reason that people will feel safe trusting you? What if it's your thoughtfulness that makes your services more valuable, not less? And what if your ability to listen deeply and speak intentionally is exactly what your clients are looking for? You don't need to change who you are. You just need to start leading from who you are. The world doesn't need more hype. It needs more heart. More grounded voices, more gentle guides like you. You have your reasons for resisting the nudge to step into a leadership role. And I promise to tell you what those reasons actually say about you. And here it is. Those reasons and any other reasons you add to the mix, they're just limiting beliefs. And with a little bit of honest self-reflection, you can move past them just like you've moved past the countless mindset blocks that you've already shifted to get you where you are today. Maybe you don't feel like a leader. And I get that. I really do, because I still don't feel like a leader. But I know I am one. And maybe you're afraid of speaking in front of groups or to put yourself out there on video. I used to be afraid too, but look at me now. Maybe you're afraid that people won't take you seriously because you're so quiet. Or maybe you think that marketing is fake and fruitless. I shifted those self-sabotaging beliefs, and you can shift them too. But what helped me most of all was learning to appreciate my quiet, reflective nature and realizing that marketing is service. The coaching industry doesn't need more loud voices. It needs more leaders who have done their inner work and are ready to help others do theirs. And if that's you, then it's time to stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're a leader. But if that's what you really, really, really need, let me be that person. You are a leader. You came here to lead, and the world needs you to lead. So welcome. Welcome to the Quiet, Confident Leaders Club. And that whole public speaking thing I mentioned earlier, or putting yourself out there on video, if just the thought of it makes you want to vomit, check out this video, because I share the story of my no good, horrible, very bad day. And that's the story that became a turning point that transformed me from being the overlooked wallflower into a leader of quiet, confident leaders. Check it out.